Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and I wanted to welcome all my new subscribers. My name is Houston, and today, well tonight, I wanted to go back and redo um, do an episode of the Book Witch, and tonight I want to talk about this big hunker, the Encyclopedia of Spirits, the ultimate guide to the magic of fairies, gnomes, demons, ghosts, gods, and goddesses by Judika Illes. Illes. Um, She also, if you are familiar with the Encyclopedia of 1,000 and 5,000 Spellbook, um, she also writes that as well. And a couple other encyclopedia books, I believe, and a couple other like smaller books, I think. Um, I know I have this one, and I have the smaller 1,000 Spellbook version. I do not have the 5,000 Spellbook version yet. I think that's all I have by her. But I found this book. I bought this book on Amazon. I did not pay $30 for it. I paid. Might have been close to that actually. I'm hearing plans go over the house. Um, I think I paid like 18 or 17 for it. But I mean, it's a good hunk of book. It's huge. Um, it has, including the index in the back, it has 1,056 pages. There's a tad bit of water damage on mine, which is fine. That doesn't bother me. Use books like that don't bother me at all. I have gone through here, and in the beginning part, it tells you, it goes over how to work with spirits, and learning about them and getting to know them, and precautionary methods, like protecting yourself, of course, with amulets or protective circles when you call on them, or offerings, or what have you. Just it tells you just mostly to be careful and how to go about building a relationship with a spirit or whoever you want to make a relationship with. Um, Now, this is written like an encyclopedia. Of course, that's why it's called an encyclopedia. So each one has each entry. Some are longer than others. I'm trying to find one that's kind of common so I could show you. And just like it being an encyclopedia, it starts with an A and ends with the Z. They go through many different pantheons, some that before I picked this book up I've never heard of before. Okay, so the one I want to show you is Amaterasu. As you can see, it does also known, the origin, and the classification. So, excuse me, classification, which is kami, which is Japanese for God, and then it goes into Amaterasu's history and her story. Then it goes into attributes of Amaterasu, like what are her items. For her, it's a mirror, sword, jewel, and those are Japan's 3 sacred treasures. Also, the bow and quiver of arrows in case of Susanoo's brother bothers her again. Susanoo, I believe, is her brother. I believe. I'm not that familiar. Then it has a sacred planet to her, a sacred site, sacred days, tree, flower, animal, and then it has an also to see the remaining story of Amaterasu. So it is kind of written like an encyclopedia. With this, I have learned so much about different spirits, about different gods and goddesses. I think this is my go-to book. Of course, I try to get my information from more than one source. So I do this, I do online, and I have a couple other books that have different gods and goddesses in them as well. So I kind of get info from a couple different sections instead of just one place and say that's the know-all, end-all of that deity or god or angel or fairy or whatever. So this is a fantastic book for those who are interested in working with different spirits, working with different pantheons, learning about different pantheons, learning about different entities in general. There are a lot of, they don't really, it doesn't go into like detail of um, the demons of Solomon or the keys of Solomon or anything like that. There are some folkloric demons, um, excuse me, throughout, like they're the one, like I said, Amaterasu is the kami, but they have Japanese trickster demons, the kitsune, which is the fox spirit. They also have some from Celtic folklore, which is seen as a demon, more of a fairy. It's the banshee or the sheed or the seed. And they have other ones also. There's Native American gods and goddesses in here. It talks about, of course, the Greek, the Roman, all different types of pantheons. So this is fantastic if you want to start working with different spirits and communicating with different spirits and learning the process of how to work with them and incorporate them into your practice, as well as sense their presence, because it does go about and how you can talk to them and open up your psychic abilities. I think that was one of the really cool things that I really enjoyed about the beginning of this book, and then I enjoyed the rest of it by information. I'm a huge sponge for information, especially when it comes to different pantheons, different cultures, and things of that nature. So I highly recommend this, even for those who are just starting on their path. And a bit of advice for those who are just starting on their path. And I know a long time ago when I first started, when I came onto YouTube and saw, all the witchy videos, um, everyone said you needed a matron or patron. You don't need one right away. I mean, you don't really need one at all. You can practice without one. But if there's a matron or patron out there that's watching over you and protecting you and hearing your prayers and spell work, they'll make themselves known. There's no need to rush it. There's no need to force their hand or, start not trusting your intuition, pretty much. Because they will leave you signs. At least that's what they did with me. It's different for every person. But I know, and since we're talking about gods and goddesses and spirits, I really use this when I come across, or when I'm doing a reading for someone, or I have psychic insight on myself, and a name or a face or an image of something has popped up, and it feels like a deity or a spirit that's, I will go to the book, go to this book first and type in, like one of the ones that I saw when I did a meditation to find my elemental guardians. One of the ones that I saw was one of my spirit guides. Is actually two now. But I saw a flaming lion, a lion with a fire mane, which really does represent, fire in of itself. The lion is an animal of the fiery passion kind of thing and protective nature. But when I looked into it further, when I looked into the fire, the lion, and aspects of divinity, because I didn't feel that it was just a spirit animal. I felt that it was more of a goddess or god showing themselves in animal state. And I found what rang true, and I did multiple clarifications, not just from me, but I asked my friends as well that know me. I asked them, well, know me, but not the situation. I don't want them to be biased. And it turned out that the lion represented the goddess Sekhmet of the Egyptian lore. And so and when I figured that out, I went to this book, and I researched as much as I could, and I also went online and have pages of research dedicated to Sekhmet. I do not have a physical representation ever yet, and I'm still working through that process. That's going to be like one of the lifelong things for me. So I don't want to rush it. So I let them come to me when the need arises, pretty much. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. There's, like I said, this is a ton of stuff. And I mean, you can learn a ton of things. Like, I just opened again to the same page. I just learned something new tonight, which it's really hard to sit down and read this like a book, like front to back. It was really hard. I tried to begin with, just because there was so much, and then I kind of got overloaded, so I kind of stopped that. But before I started this video, and I'm gonna leave. This will be my last kind of thought. I opened the book randomly, and I came across the entry for Hidden Company, which is right here. Doesn't have a lot of information, but I want to read what it does say. Hidden Company is the name given the discarnate spirits of witches and occult masters serving as spirit guides. They are not dissimilar in function from the ascended masters of Theosophy, but their orientation and origins are different. The Hidden Company guides and protects those who pursue visionary and magical paths. They are fonts of spiritual and occult wisdom. Members of the Hidden Company may be channeled by mediums or contacted via divination. They also appear in dreams and visions. Because occultists were persecuted and exterminated for millennia, the membership of the Hidden Company is legion. Masters of their field, many can reveal information regarding suppressed or destroyed spiritual traditions and magical arts. And it also tells me to go look at Ascended Masters, the Great White Brotherhood, and Caboclos. So then there's the Hidden Masters of Wisdom as the next entry. I thought that was kind of cool. That was a little bit of bibliomancy before I started the video. So that's kind of what led me to do this video, was that entry. So I hope you guys found this interesting and an interesting book for you. I really do recommend it. You can get it pretty cheap on Amazon or eBay or Thrift Books. And I'll leave a link below where you can get it on Amazon. So with that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I will see you next time for maybe another episode of Book Witch.